All right, welcome everyone to our April team meeting. Today we're going to be covering all things compliance. I found two great PDF files, I guess you could say, in the workstation, and I've uploaded them to our Facebook group page. So for in a guide, and I'll finish uploading them to the other pages as I have time. But for you guys, if you're looking for anything that has to do with compliance, simply go into your workstation, and I'll walk you through this as well. And in the search tab, you can type compliance or compliance guide, and it'll quickly pull up all things that you might need to know for compliance things. Scentsy creates these rules, I guess you could say, that we have to follow. But some of the rules also come from the licensing agreements that we have with our partners like Warner Brothers, DC Comics, Marvel, Disney, any other companies that we may team up with as well later on. They have rules and regulations that we need to follow. The Direct Selling Association also has rules and regulations that we are to follow. And then Scentsy has their own guidelines that we are to follow as well. So the two things that I've found, I wanted to just touch on. There's lots of different trainings and files and stuff that you can pull up. I'm just for today keeping it to these specific ones, which is the compliance guide and then the licensed product marketing guidelines. And this, I printed it off too. That particular one, we just had a training, I believe it was last week on Tuesday. Yes, last Tuesday. So it should be in the training center already. And they kind of just walk through that guide as well. I'll answer some questions, do some quick touching on it, but it is there for you guys to watch as well. But before I get started, I want to do a quick shout out because that's what I do every time. And I know it's not the 15th, it's only the 9th of the month, or for those of you in Australia, it is the 10th. But I did want to shout out those who are already active for the month. And there's not many, but you know what? You guys are working your business and doing an amazing job. So we have Melanie Jensen, Jody Hitchens, Susan Misson, Saren Vanzetti, Jennifer Range, and then myself. So congratulations, you guys. You're starting your April off with a blast. And I do also know, let me look up one other thing. Hold on. Give me just a second. Because I know there have been party flips happening. So I want to see something here real fast. Yes, Kim Tolbert has also added to her team one new team member. So that was a party flip, I believe, but I might be wrong on that. But way to go, Kim. Way to go to everybody else who's also active this month. And it's lots of time to put in your 200 for the month or whatever goal it is that you set for the month of April. There's still tons of time to do that. I'm going to share my screen here in just a second. I want to show you guys some things and kind of walk through some stuff with you. Now this is my dashboard in the workstation. So this is the home page when you guys log in. If you go up here, you can search compliance or compliance guide. I'm just going to click on compliance guide and show you guys what comes up. All this information comes up for you guys. How to use the compliance guide, what's new with it. This is the lesson that I am going to follow for us today. But there's even guidelines on what logos we can use and just how to do the Disney products, a sales tax guide even. There's just, if you have an external website, so a non-Scentsy website, what you need to do to link it to your Scentsy website, income claims or income disclosure, lots and lots of stuff in there. So I highly encourage you guys to pull this up on your own, review it, kind of take a look, walk through it. But if you're on our Facebook group pages, I have that on here as well, and I'll show you where that is. So this is our main whole group page, and there's lots of different guides here for you that if you just click on guides. And the one, so we have like the new consultant one, the fifth one is Compliance 101. So just a quick reference for you guys so you can quickly tag people in them if they have a question, or refer to it really fast so you don't have to do that search on our workstations. There's other things on there in those guides. I definitely highly recommend that you guys take a look at those guides. I did update the new consultant one so you can actually tag team members in this in the comments, so that when you have a new team member join and they join the Facebook group, you can tag them and say, here's a quick reference for you to be able to find all the things you need to know about being a new consultant. So I highly encourage you guys to do that as well too. And any of the guides that I have on these pages, definitely tag team members in it. If you have anybody ask about samples or doing parties, growing their team, definitely take a look at those things for you guys there. Okay, so let's get started because it's a lot of information. And like I said, I'm just going to kind of walk us through this and go from there. So this is technically chapter 2. So let me pull up my screen and hold on 1 second. I want to be on something else. I'm going to go back and forth between stuff here. All right, so the first topic that I'm actually going to talk to you guys about, and then I'll share some of the files with you guys with my screen share. And I'm just really going to be going back and forth between what Scentsy says, because I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys the absolute best information and the correct information. So I'm using their wording so that nothing that I might say might get mixed up and done the wrong way. So the first section in our compliance guide is compliance basics. This is from their chapter 1 area. And some of those basics are, these are the things that I would definitely recommend tagging your new team members in it so that they have a great initial understanding of the things that they can and cannot do. So never post Scentsy products for sale on e-commerce sites like eBay, Amazon, Mercari, or any other site generally recognized as an e-commerce platform. That would even, let's see, I think there's a couple, like Etsy would be another example. You can't do any of that type of stuff. Never sell Scentsy products from a retail location. Never require customers or guests at a Scentsy event to pay money or purchase a product to participate in any activity, raffle drawing, or game of chance, also known as pay to play. And we'll go into specific information on these. This is just highlighting the quick reference, basically. Never place orders for the sole purpose of achieving a title, rank, incentive, award, or bonus, also known as bonus buying. Never intentionally build up excessive Scentsy inventory or encourage your downline to purchase and carry large amounts of inventory. And never make misleading or deceptive claims of any kind in your advertising. All claims must be truthful and consistent with current official Scentsy literature, and all income claims must include the official income disclosure statement, which I will also pull that up and put that in that guide. I'm going to write myself a note so that I remember to do that, because I knew I was missing something in there. Give me 1 second so I don't. Guide. And then there'll be a quick reference for you guys on there as well too. All right, so the next section in our compliance guide talks about pricing and advertising. And basically, the rules are like this. You need to follow corporate pricing. Scentsy sets retail pricing globally on all products, bundles, and limited time offers. From time to time, Scentsy offers discounted pricing on certain products. All products set and published by Scentsy are referred to as corporate pricing, which is the only pricing authorized to be advertised to the general public. So then that a lot of people might like to do a personal special. As an independent Scentsy consultant, you can set whatever pricing you want for your customers, but all of your offers must be made privately so they can't be seen by any other consultant's customers or the general public. When you offer products at any price above or below the current corporate pricing, this is referred to as a personal special. Personal specials can be a great way to reward your customers, and you are allowed to offer them in private, one-to-one communications, but there are specific rules that you must follow in your advertising. You are required to comply with the Scentsy standards and this guide when it comes to the advertising of it. And so you have to think about the audience that you're gonna be advertising to. If you're advertising in a one-to-one communication, which is also known as a private communication, and this might be through email, text, phone call, snail mail, even like, I believe face-to-face would also be considered a private conversation. You may share the details of your personal special in those forms. If you are advertising in a general audience, so publicly, which would be like doing a social media post on your personal page, on your VIP page, creating an ad someplace, like a Facebook ad or a Craigslist ad or a Google ad or an ad in the newspaper or a magazine or an ad in the, like where we live, there's a Valpak ad that comes out. Those are all considered public ways of advertising. You may only share corporate pricing and mention that you have a personal special without sharing details. So it is important for you to know how Scentsy defines private and public. So private is one-to-one communication between you and your customers and contacts, where that interaction cannot be seen or heard by a general audience. Anything that is face-to-face, on the phone, or sent by email, text, instant, or direct message is considered private. Even though online social platforms may label something private, such as a private page or group page on Facebook, Scentsy does not consider it to be private. And in those one-to-one communications, you can set whatever pricing you want for your customers and share all the details of your personal special only through that one-to-one communication. Now, if your audience is public, any form of communication directed generally or broadly so that it's possible for both your personal customers as well as others to see or hear your advertisement. Common examples of public advertising include, but are not limited to, newspaper ads, coupon books, vehicle wraps, Facebook pages, Twitter feeds, Instagram stories, Google ads, even TikTok would be another one, temporary event booth signage, flyers, or a bulletin board, and so forth. And they have examples of that type of stuff. Another one would be inventory on hand. Scentsy does not require you to keep any inventory on hand. In fact, Scentsy prohibits you from building up excessive amounts of inventory, also known as inventory loading. If you do have some unsold Scentsy products on hand that you want to sell, follow these simple rules. You may advertise that you will offer cash and carry sales or that you are clearing out some inventory at an open house or similar event. However, you may not share any details or images of what you have on hand except in private one-to-one communication. You may not advertise or otherwise imply publicly that you offer cash and carry sales on a permanent or semi-permanent basis. Do not post, publish, or comment with pictures or videos in a product advertisement showing or listing more inventory on hand that would qualify as compliant promotional display. Do not post, publish, or comment with pictures or videos of discounted products in a product advertisement. And you may respond to "in search of" ISO posts on social media, including swap groups, by commenting that you have a specific item on hand. However, you may not provide additional details beyond what the customer is searching for. So you may not mention extra quantities of that item or other products that you have on hand. Also in search of, you cannot post, "I have this warmer, who wants it?" You need to wait until somebody is searching for it before you comment saying, "I have that, I can private message you," or private message me for further details. Now, the one that I really want to make you guys understand, because there have been a lot of team members in the past that have done pay-to-plays, and Scentsy has contacted them about this. So this is definitely, compliance is there to help you guys and to make sure that we are staying in good standing with all of the companies that we are teamed up with, from private licensing agreements to the Direct Selling Association. And when we aren't in good standing with them, fees and things happen, or we lose those licensing agreements, and that's definitely stuff we don't want to do. So a pay to play is when a customer must pay money or purchase a product to participate in an activity or game of chance. In other words, if it costs money to play or participate and prizes are awarded by random selection, it is not allowed. Pay to play is strictly prohibited. You can find, there's a link for an informational video on it in the training center as well. So here is some of the big no-nos. You may not require any financial consideration for a game of chance or activity where the prize is awarded randomly. For example, you may not sell bingo cards or raffle tickets to customers or guests for your bingo games or drawings. Additionally, you may not require a customer to place an order to be entered into a mystery host drawing. Now, you can play bingo, but you cannot ask customers to buy products or buy their cards. They can simply just participate. And if they choose then to place an order or book a party later on, that is up to them. And going further on, enlist or allow a third party to run a raffle, dip, tombola, or any kind of lottery on your behalf. You may not require guests to pay or purchase a product to earn additional chances at a prize or to increase their chances of winning. Example, extra bingo cards. You may not require a cover charge or admission price to attend a home party, even if all guests receive product equal to the value of the cover charge or admission price. In other words, you may not charge $30 to all guests as a required condition to attend, even if they all receive a 6-pack of Scentsy bars valued at $30. And then they kind of list some games and things that are not considered pay to play. So a game of skill or chance where all guests or customers can participate completely free of charge. For example, you may play bingo or hold a random drawing at your party, if everyone gets to play or enter for free. Likewise, you may play a game of skill, such as a race where the first guest to send their contact information via text message to the consultant earns a prize. An offer of prizes through completing simple tasks or meeting established requirements such as liking, commenting on or sharing a post, inviting or referring a friend to a party, completing an online form to share contact information is allowed. So for example, you may create your own custom bingo cards that require a specific task for each square. And you're also allowed to offer to increase a guest's or customer's chance to earn a prize through completing simple tasks or meeting established requirements such as liking, commenting on, or sharing a post, inviting or referring a friend to a party, completing an online form to share contact information, and so forth. So for example, you may offer additional bingo cards or drawing entries to guests who meet those requirements. You're also allowed to do a donation of product to a charity to be raffled off. They talk about selling to other consultants. I'll let you guys refer to that information as well. I'm mostly highlighting some of the common things that we see. Let me pull up. This is a PDF of the compliance guide, which is chapter 2, which is pricing and advertising. And it kind of just goes over the do's and don'ts basically and what it is. So a great example is that personal special, right? Price discount, any type of personal special with the list price that differs from corporate pricing, that's the what. And these two are the how or how not to. So how you may advertise your price discount, advertise that you are having a personal special. You may share the specific products included in your special. If you include any pricing, you may only list corporate pricing. Do not advertise or even imply that the price you are charging differs from corporate pricing. So, you know, watch how you're saying things. I like to say, contact me to hear about today's special. And that's a great way to figure it out. And then I let my customers I also tell them I can't share my personal specials publicly, but I can private message them. So that they understand that why I'm asking them to contact me. So I highly encourage you guys to look this stuff over. There's giveaways on here. Oh, free shipping is another one. offering customers a shipping cost that is different than standard or corporate shipping rates. That's the what you want to do, right? And this is how you do it and how you do not do it. So how you would do this, advertise this in public, is advertise that your customers can get free shipping with a qualifying party if you explain how to achieve a qualifying party or suggest that they contact you for more details. Let local customers know that you are placing an order and invite them to submit an order. Okay. Do not advertise this in public. Do not advertise that you already have a qualifying party that will give customers free shipping. Do not advertise free shipping for local customers. And the host exclusive kit that we have, there's different ways to offer it. So offering your contacts an opportunity to start their own Scentsy business by enrolling with host rewards. Okay, that's the what. You can advertise that you can help someone earn a host exclusive starter kit for no out-of-pocket costs, or for, I believe, I'll have to double check, I would say, or for that $59 price, but this is the one a lot of people like to advertise. They may have gotten a free host exclusive kit with placing random orders together, and so they want to bless somebody with that host kit. You need to write no out-of-pocket costs, because the starter kit itself will not be costing them anything, but if they choose to keep their website after the first 3 months, it will cost them $10. If they need to buy supplies later on, that will cost them money and stuff. So the no out-of-pocket starter cost, basically. Do not list the host exclusive starter kit for a price that is higher or lower than corporate pricing. Do not list a price that is discounted due to host rewards available on an existing or potential party. Do not indicate that you have a free starter kit available. You need to say no out-of-pocket or zero out-of-pocket. And then mystery hosts and mystery bags, you guys can read over those as well too. All right, let me go to the next one. The next one is about how to do some marketing materials. There's lots of information on that one, and you guys might want to read it yourself, but you need to follow the independent consultant logo guidelines. While Scentsy does not limit the fonts or colors you can use in your own content, you may not alter the official Scentsy logos in any way, including the logo font and color. There's licensed products, which we'll cover in a minute. You may use images provided to you in the marketing section of the Scentsy of our workstation, but you may not use Scentsy's corporate logos or trademarked images such as the Scentsy bar and classic curve shapes without prior permission. Do not use someone else's intellectual property. In other words, you may not use another person or company's photos, logos, designs, or other creative work in your marketing without their permission. Do not use Scentsy by itself. If you create apparel for your personal use, you may use Scentsy in a phrase as long as you also display your team name. One of the logos approved for consultant use is the independent Scentsy consultant. You can create custom Scentsy marketing materials and branded items for your personal use through a third party that is not already a Scentsy approved vendor if the third party submits a form. You may coordinate with other consultants on your team to create custom materials and divide the costs among those interested. So for example, if you want to make a team t-shirt, you can gather funds from your team prior to the purchase of the shirts to do so, but you may not require your team members to participate. So it'd be like, let's say we're heading to reunion and there's a large amount of us, and I tell you guys, hey, I've created a team shirt, who would like to buy one? You would just tell me if you wanted to purchase one or not, but I would also let you guys know it's not required to have to purchase one of those shirts. So that's kind of how that is. You may not create items for the purpose of reselling, and you may not sell your self-produced business supplies to other consultants. And let me pull up that guide for you guys so you can kind of see what it looks like. Give me just 1 second. This one. That would be, what do I got here? Let me see. Sorry, Trying to know where I'm at. That's chapter 2. That's also chapter 2. I mean, chapter 2. Chapter 2. Is that chapter 4? Oh, I missed a chapter. Hold on. My bad. Let me pull it up. I want this one. Yes. Okay. Now we can share. So this is what I was just talking about, the marketing materials that we can and cannot do. So this is do not use Scentsy corporate logos because this isn't on an approved business card. Do not use Scentsy in isolation like this one right here. This is an old logo, so you'll need this person would need to update it. If you already have materials with it though, I think that might be okay to finish handing out. But that I think might be in a pinch type of thing. It says do not use outdated logos or images. And then I will get clarification on that one. This one is the approved one. Use consultant logos and provided contact information. So this is the new updated logo, and this is the Scentsy Authentic Product logo. This one we can't use. This one we can use. And this is the old out-of-date logo. These are the types of shirts that you can and cannot make. So these are no's. Do not use the Scentsy bar or classic curve shape without Scentsy's permission. Do not use Scentsy in isolation. Do not use someone else's intellectual property, which would be the Mickey here. Do use the consultant logos available in the workstation. Do include your team name when creating items as a team. So like this one would be Wick Free Wizards. I've created our money makers apparel and stuff for you guys. So those are some of the do's and don'ts for marketing materials. All right. I know this is a lot of information, but that's also why I put it in the guides for you guys on our pages so that you can refer to it easily. Online marketing. You may market your Scentsy business online. It is your responsibility to ensure that your marketing efforts comply with the Scentsy standards and the Scentsy guide, compliance guide. Depending on where you choose to market online, there are certain rules you are required to follow, and there are some rules that you must follow in all of your online marketing efforts. Regardless of the online channel, follow these simple rules when you advertise your Scentsy business online. Always clearly identify yourself as an independent Scentsy consultant using your personal name or registered business name. Do not create an advertisement page, profile, or persona that mimics or impersonates Scentsy or any Scentsy employee. The only approved use of the word Scentsy in your profile name is with the complete phrase Scentsy independent consultant, or when approved variants are used. Include a link to your registered external website or personal website so your customers can shop. You do need to do that as well. So for e-commerce, sites that require a direct checkout functionality, meaning the transaction or payment is processed on the site, are considered e-commerce. Selling or advertising Scentsy on e-commerce sites is strictly prohibited. E-commerce sites include, but are not limited to, eBay, Amazon, Mercado, Libre, etc. I would add Etsy into there as well. There's Craig's, no. There's, yeah. Start with those, and then there's additional ones. Online classified sites. Sites that offer but do not require you to use their direct checkout functionality are considered to be online classified sites. Direct checkout functionality is strictly prohibited. As long as you do not use the direct checkout option, advertising on these sites is allowed. If you choose to advertise on an online classified site, you must limit your advertisements to the Scentsy opportunity, corporate pricing, corporate specials, and current products. You may never advertise details about your personal specials. Do not advertise your inventory on hand for sale, including discontinued products. Use current corporate pricing or an extremely high price as a placeholder if you are required to include any price at all. An example of this would be basically just doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 for a price. Do not list items as free or at a price that is below corporate pricing. If a site adds a required direct checkout functionality where it was previously unavailable, you must immediately remove any ads you have on that site. Digital media. You may create and share Scentsy related videos and other digital media if the content complies with the Scentsy standards. You may share videos posted by Scentsy on Scentsy's official social and digital media channels. You may not download, alter, or post any of Scentsy's videos as your own original content. Do not post confidential corporate information or information that resembles a corporate announcement or training. For example, you may post a video of yourself reacting to a product announcement at Scentsy Family Reunion, but you may not record and post the entire presentation. And then for social media, you may use social networking sites like Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter, TikTok, etc. to promote Scentsy's products and opportunity and to direct your contacts to your PWS or registered external website. You may not create or offer an e-commerce functionality on a social media site. You need to clearly indicate that you are an independent Scentsy consultant and share information and promote Scentsy to your friends and followers and posts and stories on your personal profiles and pages. If you create any business pages that are dedicated to promoting your Scentsy business, name these pages as your name, Independent Scentsy Consultant, or clearly indicate in your bio that you are an independent Scentsy consultant. Remember, you may not use Scentsy in your page or group titles unless it's paired with independent consultant. You may host online parties and other virtual events using social media. Just make sure your event complies with the Scentsy standards, this guide, and the rules for the social media platform where you are marketing. Specifically, keep in mind that personal specials are not allowed to be offered if these events are in any way open to a general audience. Except for direct or private messaging platforms, social media pages or sites, including private Facebook groups, are considered public. This means you are restricted in what you can include in your advertisements through these channels. While you are certainly allowed to run or promote other businesses separate from your Scentsy business, please remember that marketing those businesses or services to your Scentsy contacts is not allowed. You are not allowed to use your Scentsy network or contacts gained through running your Scentsy business to benefit another business, whether owned by you or not. So that's something to keep in mind. And I will find that guide for you guys right now and the quick reference. I think it's this one. It's this one here. I will, wait. There we go. That's 2. So this is what we're talking about, the online marketing part. So you cannot advertise, you cannot do anything on these sites. Be sure to opt out of direct checkout on external websites. Sites that require direct checkout functionality are strictly prohibited. So some examples of direct checkout functionality would be, this is an Amazon one, right? Somebody listed these 3 bars and they can pay that way. eBay is another one. That's one of our older buddies. You can't post anything like that. Do not advertise your inventory on hand for sale, including discontinued products. So it says, I've got so many bars, it's time to clean house, $6 each. I've got hard to find discontinued scents too. Seriously, let's empty the shelf. So that is a no-no, you can't do that. So almost done, you guys. Oh, the next one I wanted to talk to you guys about is the licensed products. So So actually, I'm going to pull that up for you guys. Sorry. This one here. So this licensed product marketing guidelines. What are licensed products? Licensed products are any items that contain a trademark or logo of a non-Scentsy brand or corporation. Examples of licensed products would be the Disney collection, Marvel, Star Wars, and Warner Brothers. So those are all licensed products. What is an IP? An IP is an intellectual property. IP refers to a licensed partner's ownership of its brands, characters, titles, properties, artwork, images, logos, music, and more. All IP of Scentsy's licensed partners is owned by the licensed partner and may not be used without their explicit permission. Scentsy's relationships with its licensed partners provide Scentsy with limited access to their IP, which gives you the opportunity to promote the collections in a compliant way. To remain compliant, you must limit your IP use to what is provided to you in your region-specific marketing section of your workstation. So examples of IP you cannot use in your marketing is like, this is the pig and the chicken from Moana. You can't have this let it go phrase, or even the Harry Potter words, this image of Stitch. These are all IPs, licensed IPs. We need to use what is provided to us from Scentsy. When promoting licensed products, there are guidelines to follow to make sure your content remains compliant. The words, pictures, and videos you use, as well as where the content is released, are all factors that contribute to its compliancy. So promoting with images from your workstation. These are Scentsy marketing images. These are all okay to use. You'll find these in the marketing tab of the workstation. Do not use or share Scentsy created images that are not available in your region-specific workstation. So there's a lot of, especially in our team and group, there's a lot of region 3 and some in region 2. I try and pull up stuff that is from all regions that I can find in the workstation, but I just want you guys to double verify that. Sometimes I may pull it up and forget to verify that it's in region 3 and region 2. So if you're in region 3 or region 2, go to your workstation and make sure that image is available in your area. Non-compliant images using image overlays, filters, and cropping. These are not allowed. So if you can kind of see the difference, right? So this is the one that is allowed. This one is not, because they added these 2 bars over the image. This one is allowed, the Star Wars one, but this one is not because they altered the image. And the Harry Potter one, that one is allowed, but this one is not because they cropped it. And they took out the Harry Potter logo and the information down below there. We go through a thorough approval process with our licensed partners to make sure the marketing images we provide you are consistent with our licensing agreement, which means they're only approved by our partners to use as is, without any changes or alterations. And so when in doubt, just use what's on the workstation. So promoting with UGC, which is user-generated content. Creating your own image and video content to promote Scentsy's licensed collections helps you stand out among the crowd. Whether you create a post, reel, story, YouTube video, or other form of content, UGC is an authentic and effective way to promote guide products to your customers. You can create UGC with licensed collections by following these guidelines. Take pictures and video that represent the product well. So this one is okay because it shows the true colors of the warmer. This is one that is not okay because a filter was applied. This one with them holding the 3 different buddies is okay because it's just the 3 buddies. This one over here is not okay because it looks like the buddies are kind of selling or approving the Scentsy warmer. So you want to keep these separated. And this one is okay because this is a user-generated content. This is their own personal photo. but you cannot add the logo onto that. You need to just keep it as a personal photo. Take lifestyle images and videos in the right content as well. Lifestyle images and videos take into consideration the context of a licensed product when licensed IP is involved. There are times when the image or video you use may include licensed products, and that is okay as long as the IP appears to be naturally occurring. For example, an image of a Hogwarts Scentsy warmer in a bedroom in front of a Harry Potter poster would be considered naturally occurring if the bedroom context is included in the picture. Picture of a Hogwarts Scentsy warmer in front of a Harry Potter poster that does not include the context of the bedroom would not be considered naturally occurring. So you can kind of take a look at your surroundings, and is this something that would naturally be seen or not, right? So this one is in compliant because it includes the context of a desk, right? This person has their Cinderella warmer at their office, and they're like talking probably about how cool the new warmer is and everything like this. This one is not because it uses an image in the background that is from that movie. This person has Spider-Man in her backpack. This one is okay because it also she's carrying them in her backpack to the office, or maybe your kid has it carrying it to school. That's in the context. This one would not, for a couple of reasons. It's got the Marvel and the Scentsy buddy. It shows the buddy with the IP out of context, right? So it's a zoomed in version of this person and their backpack, but you need to show the full picture. So at a glance, lifestyle pictures can be staged, but not in a way that takes the product out of context, appears to put the product in the actual movie or IP land, or implies endorsements by our licensed partners. You can create catchy captions above or below, but not over your images and videos. So this is approved. This is not, because the Shop Now sticker is over the picture. And do not use any stickers on the picture or in the frame, even if they're available for use within the app. So this one has the Shop Now, but it's above the image, and this has another little thing and it's below the image. That is okay. Because these are what you guys can create in your stories and reels and stuff on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. So you want to make sure when you're sharing this that it's done correctly. So there's stickers and things that can be added to those things. So this one is okay. It has a hashtag sticker that's below. Who's interested, that's above. Here's the Scentsy generated imaging. This one is pretty much the same, except this sticker here of Rocket is not allowed. So kind of see the differences on some of those things. In-app music, but don't post song lyrics ever. Also, don't mix licensed music with different licensed products. For instance, don't use a Disney song with a Marvel product. So this one is okay because it just has a link. Compliant because the music is available for use in the app. This one not compliant because of the use of the lyrics, and I think that's, it's right here. They over the image they generated the lyrics on their, and you can't post any of the lyrics with the image in. Do you have to use the full product name and the hyphen in my marketing? Formal product names can get long. We understand this wording can be awkward in your marketing efforts and is not required to stay in compliance. So for example, you can simply say Scentsy has introduced a new Stitch Buddy, or the Tigger Buddy has arrived, or even Scentsy now has Olaf. Those are things you can say. Can I wear licensed apparel when I go live to yes, you can wear licensed apparel. For example, you can wear a Harry Potter shirt while going live to unbox your new Hogwarts warmer. At a glance, keep these, remember that you can't make your own shirts or clothing using any IP licensing stuff. At a glance, create posts, reels, and stories with all text and widgets outside of the image. Do not use stickers. It's okay to use music in your posts, reels, and stories if the music is available within the app Outside music is not allowed. Do not add or use the logos or your licensed partners anywhere in your UGC ever. Getting the hiccups. And if you're going to promote things online, you have to watch how you're saying it. Don't change Scentsy provided marketing images. Don't apply licensed product logos to your marketing content. Don't use phrasing that includes licensed IPs such as quotes or song lyrics. So just pay attention. That's why I wanted to go through these hashtags. A compliant one would just be simple Lilo and Stitch. A non-compliant Marvel Love Scentsy, you can't do that because that's showing that Marvel. Just don't do that. It has to do with how it's kind of like that other one where we had the buddies sitting around the warmer. It looks like Marvel's endorsing Scentsy, and that's what we don't want to do. So that's kind of the do's and don'ts of that. I think we're on to one last one, which is the in-person marketing. And there is some things that you have to do as a leader too. So let's just go over the in-marketing one, and we're almost done. When you conduct in-person marketing activities, ensure that you comply with the Scentsy standards and the Scentsy compliance guide related to pricing and advertising, retail locations, temporary events, and signage. So pricing and advertising. Any public advertisements that are intended to drive traffic to or attendance at your in-person party or event must follow the rules and restrictions outlined in the previous chapter, chapter 2. Retail locations. Scentsy defines a retail location as any location that offers goods or services as its primary objective. For example, a shopping mall, restaurant, hair salon are all retail locations. Common areas for retail location, common areas of a retail location would be hallways, sidewalks, breezeways, retail parking lots, etc. are all considered retail locations. In-person parties and open houses that take place in a retail location must be held outside of normal business hours and may not be publicly advertised or open to the general public. Beyond these private events, you may not offer cash and carry sales, store inventory on hand, or deliver orders to customers at a retail location, whether that retail location is owned by you or someone else. If you have a retail business, such as a salon or store, on your residential property, you must not sell or appear to sell Scentsy products through that location. You may only promote Scentsy in a retail location with a promotional display. Signage. It is important that passers-by do not mistake your home for a retail location. So do not display Scentsy signage in your windows, outside your residence, or at any other location where you operate your Scentsy business that might appear to someone passing by that it is a retail location. You're welcome to display signage on your vehicle or temporarily display signage for an open house, home party, or event. However, you must remove your sign at the end of your event so it does not give the impression to someone passing by that is a permanent retail location open for cash and carry sales. Keep in mind that you are allowed a promotional display at a retail location, but neither that display nor any other signage can be easily visible to a passerby. Temporary events. Temporary events such as fairs and shows can be a great way to meet new customers, promote the Scentsy opportunity, and conduct cash and carry sales. A temporary event refers to state and county fairs and other events that meet all of the following criteria. Have a clear beginning and end date, are not held in a retail location, do not span more than 30 days, include multiple vendors, and are put on by a third party, not you or Scentsy. Most farmer markets, flea markets, and trade shows do not meet the criteria to be considered a temporary event. The span of an event is not determined by the number of days it is open for business, nor by the number of days that you participate in the event, but by the total number of days between the beginning and end dates. So for example, an event that is held every Friday and Saturday between May 1st and June 30th spans 61 days and would not be considered a temporary event. So you need to make sure that you kind of pay attention to the days in there. Small event exceptions. If your event does not meet the criteria to be considered a temporary event, you may still be permitted to participate with cash and carry sales if your event qualifies for the small event exception. For your event to qualify for this exemption, it must meet all the following criteria. So if it didn't have a clear beginning and end date, or it spans more than 30 days, then maybe look at this as a small event type thing. So all of these must meet the following criteria. The event must be within 50 miles of your home. This is for small event exception. The event may not be in a retail location. There must not be a contract with a temporary event prior to the day of the event. The event must require all vendor booths to be set up and taken down completely every day of the event. If you participate in a fair or show, you may promote Scentsy opportunity and collect orders with a promotional display. You may offer cash and carry sales at events that meet all temporary event qualifications. You may offer cash and carry sales at events that do not qualify as a temporary event, but do meet all qualifications for the small event exception. Your booth must always be attended by a current Scentsy consultant in good standing. You may post a picture or video of a promotional display on your social media to advertise your event. You do still need to follow some of the guidelines. That promotional display cannot, if you're posting a picture, it cannot have more than 10 products in that picture. You may not publicly advertise your Scentsy booth by posting a picture, video, or a list of specific items that you will have available for cash and carry sales. You may not represent or sell Scentsy and non-Scentsy products or opportunities at the same time, even if they are in separate booths. You may not enter contracts for overlapping events or shows. You may not offer cash and carry sales at events that take place in a retail location, even if the event lasts less than 30 days. You may not conduct cash and carry sales unless the fair or show is taking place at a temporary event or qualifies for the small event exception. Scentsy is not liable for and will not get involved in any disputes that arise between you and an event coordinator or between you and another consultant. Promotional displays can be it can help you generate interest in your business. Promotional displays are a good solution to advertising your business in a retail location or other locations where cash and carry sales are not permitted. So you could do a promotional display. It can be as simple as a Scentsy warmer, a stack of catalogs, and a few business cards, or it may include a variety of products to help showcase the diversity of the Scentsy brand. Your promotional display may not appear to be an advertisement of available inventory for purchase by cash and carry sales, meaning it cannot include more than one item from each of Scentsy's product categories or price points. So those are some things to keep in mind. So let's look at what that PDF looks like. Here we go, InPerson. So this is a retail store, so do not display the Scentsy logo in the window or the door. This would be like in your front yard or your fence or somewhere Scentsy's here, you can't do that. And this would also be maybe outside your residence, Scentsy's here, it's open. What you could do though is say you're posting that open house sign for that one specific day. That would be fine, but not having it permanently set out. What is also okay is having the logos on your car. That is okay. Here are two examples of promotional displays. This one is approved because it has a variety of one of each product that we offer and some catalogs. This has more than one product of each category. So there's too many bars and room sprays and things like that. That is considered an inventory. This is considered a display. I think, yep, okay. Last but not least is leadership standards. And I think I'm actually gonna have you guys just kind of look that over yourself. How you decide to, let's see, let me just quickly, becoming a Scentsy leader. Would be becoming a Scentsy leader, promoting to director or above is a huge accomplishment. It also comes with some additional leadership responsibilities. While the expectation is that you are providing support and assistance to every new consultant on your team from the moment you sponsor them, these leadership activities become required once you promote to director or above. How you decide to fulfill these leadership responsibilities is ultimately up to you. There's no one right way, but your leadership activity is so important that upon request, you must be able to provide Scentsy with documentation of your good faith efforts in these 4 areas: providing assistance, providing training, communicating regularly, and providing team interaction. So those are the main things. They do break it down, what it means for providing assistance, trainings, things like that. So I invite you guys to look that over and understand that. I even put some definitions of terms that you should know for your business. But that's compliance in a nutshell for you guys. So I know it's like a lot of information. The biggest one, like I said, is that income disclosure statement. Whenever you're talking about an income, like how much you earned, what you were able to purchase with your Scentsy income, so on and so forth, you need to include that disclosure statement in that post if you're going to be doing that on social media platforms and stuff. Do you guys have any questions? I'm going to go back and look and see real fast if anybody has any questions too. If you don't have questions right now, that is totally okay. As you go through this, please, please, please feel free to let me know what your question is. Feel free to post it in the Facebook group pages. I'm going to upload this. It's already on our Moneymakers group page. I'll upload it to my YouTube channel and email out the link as well for you guys so that you have that information. I don't see any questions on the page yet. Kim, do you have any questions?
Well, the one thing that I see a lot of that I think, according to our guidelines, is not in compliance is online parties when you do party points. I don't think you're allowed to give party points for making a purchase because that requires spending money, right?
That would require spending money, correct. So that would be out of compliance.
But you can give party points for booking a party or for joining the team. Is that correct? Even though joining the team actually could be a money spending, that could require spending money. So that, I don't know if that one's actually okay either.
Let me look here.
I mean, because everybody likes to do party games. You just want to do them where you don't get in, you don't get in trouble.
Right. So you can, okay, so that's advertising. If you're gonna, when it comes to what you're posting, like you're gonna do a game in your Facebook live, no, in your Facebook group page. You can advertise that you will have prizes available at a party or open house. So that's in person. Advertise on your Scentsy business page that you are doing a giveaway, but do not include what you're giving away. And you can advertise free samples as a giveaway. And do not advertise the specific products you are giving away. I think the one thing you're looking at is possibly
it's pay to play. It's a pay to play thing because if you're earning party points to win a prize, then it has to be under pay to play.
Right, and that was under.
And you can't require anything that requires spending money. So
right, let me pull it up one more time.
And it's things I've seen in other businesses in their online party stuff. It's very common. And since it's so common, I figure, you know, it's probably going on. It's probably going on for Scentsy people too, but I think that some of the party points are not allowed.
Right. Where was the pay to play information? Hold on. I'm looking. Oh. Here we go, pay to play. I'm gonna screen share this real fast, just so people can see it. So as I'm looking over it, you know, kind of get it. So this is the pay to play, is when a customer must pay money or purchase a product to participate in an activity or a game of chance. So your question was, in order for them to get entered into a drawing, they have to place an order. Is that what you said? You see a lot?
It's that party points thing. Like, it's the online party. You get so many points if you comment, so many points if you invite a friend, so many points if you make a purchase, so many points if you book a party, so many points if you join a team. And I think 2 of those, because they require people to spend money, you can't use them in your points game for the person with the most points to win the prize.
Correct.
Because only one person gets a prize.
Correct. So the money one, the purchase, that would be out of compliance, because you cannot. That would be kind of that one is definitely not allowed. The only task that an offer of prizes through completing simple tasks or meeting established requirements would be liking, commenting on, sharing, inviting, or referring a friend to the party, completing an online form to share contact information. Those are all allowed. An offer to increase a guest or customer's chance to earn a prize through completing, that's allowed. So just, they can like, comment, share, refer. Those are allowed. Not allowed would be requires guests to pay or purchase a product to earn additional chances at a prize or to increase their chances. That is out of compliance. So anybody who's posting that in their group pages, their online parties, or even doing in person at their parties, that is not allowed. And then I would also say the joining your team, because it's like you said, it's technically purchasing something, would not be allowed. But they could sit with you. What you can say instead for that is, everyone who sits with me and lets me talk to them about the opportunity will earn an additional raffle ticket, entry into the drawing, because they're not purchasing anything, they're listening to it, but you can't make them purchase it. So yes, those posts would be out of compliance. You are correct.
Okay.
Did you have another question? Was it just that?
No, just that one.
Okay. Yeah, I sometimes see that one a lot too. And like I said, no purchasing of anything at all. What I also see a lot of people do is buy a spot. They'll do a post and they'll purchase a spot in for a certain amount of money, and then somebody will be drawn to win a prize. That is also out of compliance, even though, let's say it's $10 for their spot and they're still getting $10 with their product. It's out of compliance because it's considered gambling basically, and that is not allowed by the Direct Selling Association. So no pay to place.
I will say the other thing, in case people don't know, if you have a question about something in compliance that you're not sure about, if you call customer support or consultant support and you ask them to be transferred to the compliance department, somebody there will help you. They'll answer your question. Yeah. Or you can email them so that you can know ahead of time, or you can get clarification on something if you have a question. Yeah. And I did that. I actually did that a few weeks ago.
I did that earlier in the year when we had a really cool join promotion happening. I wanted to see how a Facebook ad would go, but I asked them, how exactly am I supposed to word this so that I did it within compliance? And so they helped me with that as well. So they would rather you find out and ask than have to contact you because you were out of compliance. And they're still, even if they contact you because you're out of compliance, they're still trying to teach you what it is that you're doing. They're not necessarily scolding you unless you are repeat offending what it is what they're asking you not to be doing. And they will cancel accounts if you continuously are a repeat offender at being on compliance issues. So, and FYI, I get information on people if they get a compliance email. I also get that compliance email. So if you don't want me to know that you did something you shouldn't have, then don't do something you shouldn't have. So, because you'll hear from me too going, did you see this email? Do you need help understanding it? You know, so, or I'm happy to help you guys word things and make sure that it's in compliance as well too. So don't be afraid. And I like to say, if it's in the gray area, then don't do it. Make sure it's black or white, like very clear. That's why I went over this. There's tons of information, lots of do's and don'ts. I'm uploading all of the do's and don'ts and things into Facebook so that you can easily find it as well too. So, but you can.
I like when they do the comparisons, like this is okay and this is not, and this is why, this is what's different.
Yeah.
You can do this, but you can't do this. I find that very helpful.
Yeah, and especially on the licensed product marketing guide, that was really, really nice because it's like, well, what's the difference on this? Oh, something simple, you know, don't do the sepia, you know, and it's other things like adding that logo on there it was the same picture, they just did one thing different and it was added a little logo, and that's out of compliance. So I definitely like Scentsy is there to help us, not scold us. So make sure, you know, when in doubt, ask, and they'll help guide you through it. And I'm also here to help guide you through it if you guys need help with anything. So that is it for tonight. Let me pull up my calendar so we know what's going on later. So technically next week would be the third week, which would be Team Connect, but I'm going to move it to the 23rd so we still have some time because this is actually a 5-week month. So it's going to be the 23rd, same time that we do our team meetings, which is 3 p.m. Pacific time. For May, I thought I had an idea for the May team meeting. Did I write it down? No. What was it?
I don't know.
I don't either. So what do we want to do? I'll do a post or I'll go back and look. I feel like it was like licensed products, like we were talking about, but I kind of just talked about licensed products and promoting them. So we may not need to do that. You know what though? You know what I could do? Let me see. When is it? First team meeting. Why don't I do this? I'll ask what everybody thinks, but May, I was going to do the Light Your Fire, and June, I was going to do Ignite Your Team. What if that first team meeting, which would be May 7th at 3 p.m. Pacific time, I talk about that program, and I'll ask people in advance if they would like to be a part of the program, because I do believe we're going to have it starting on the 8th, because the 8th, 15th, 22nd, and 29th would be 4 weeks. So we could do it that close, and that would give people time to know if they want to be a part of it and understand what the program is. So I can do that for a team meeting, answer questions, or we can cover ways to sell in the summer. maybe get a jump start on summer selling. I don't know. I'm here to help you guys, so I might even just ask what people might like to know about. We can kind of pick. I feel like I did ask, but I think I forgot. So maybe I'll do
nothing's popping in my head right now. I think it's full of compliance.
I think so too. So, I'll do a post and everybody, or I'll do a search and see what we had thought of what it would be. But yeah, May 7th will be the next team meeting, but April 23rd is Team Connect. So our power hour of working together on our businesses. That is it. Those of you who are in the US, taxes are due in 2 weeks. So if you sold over 600 in 2021, you got a 1099 form. You need to make sure that you report that income and take write-offs as needed and have your taxes done before April 18th. So that is that. That's what I'm working on. I have 2 more giant piles to add up, and then I'm done and handing it over to my husband to enter into our turbo.
Okay, but you know that's not 2 weeks away, right?
It's 10 days away. 9 days away.
Fine.
And 9.
8765432.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it. Just get them done. Too much compliance, too much adding. So. All right, you guys. Thanks for being awesome. Let me know if you have questions, need help. Otherwise, I will see you guys on the 23rd for Team Connect. All right, bye.